working on your physical appearance can be deemed as conceited or vain, but I completely disagree with that. There's still that big conception that getting help is a sign of failing or weakness. And I think it's really important for us now to address that stigma as best as we can. I think I was around high school when I went through depression, like severe depression, and it was just a big cloud every single day. And it's so hard to describe and it's different for everybody. But for me, it was just I didn't want to be here anymore.
I'm really thankful I go through that kind of stuff though, because without it, I don't think I'd have the level of empathy and a level of understanding towards people that are suffering.
Like where all these systems are failing is unfortunately not listening to what these people truly need. Not what these communities truly need is someone who truly goes out there and listens to their stories.
Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the Long-Term Podcast. I'm your host, Adven. Today, we have someone who truly lives her passion for helping others, whether she is caring for her patients as a dermatology nurse or leading her team at her nonprofit, People Helping People. She is constantly rooting her work in advocacy and inclusive change. She is also a vibrant part of the creative and modeling scene where she finds her deepest sense of purpose through connection. Lana Antonio. We will discuss mental health with breaking the stigma and advocacy, creation in modeling and Instagram, and advocating for inclusive change. We're going to talk a lot about her nonprofit, People Helping People. Lana is a phenomenal person. Her voice and just everything about her is very, very succinct. And I think she will go on to do amazing things. And she takes initiative. She's very honest with herself. And she is doing phenomenal work. And if you're struggling with mental health and you're ashamed of it, this podcast will help you with navigating through the tumultuous times. And yeah, this will help you. And I think Lana is doing a great job. So everybody enjoy the podcast. Welcome to the Long-Term Podcast, Lana Antonio.
Thank
everyone.
you.
Yeah.
Guys.
The drive here was okay?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Just drive slowly out there.
Slowly. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So as a dermatology nurse, you're often treating visible conditions that can deeply affect a person's self-esteem. How has your medical career shaped your understanding of the link between physical appearance and mental health?
Yeah, for sure. Like being in the dermatology field, I've always seen the interconnectedness between dermatology and just physical appearance and mental health overall. I get to encounter so many different skin conditions every single day. And from that, I get a lot of patients telling me that they're afraid to go outside. They're afraid to go back into the same environments because of their conditions. And from that, I get to understand the effect of self-esteem and how our physical appearance deeply correlates with our self-esteem and how we show up in our relationships, our environments, and just our day-to-day. And for me, I completely now understand how it's really important for us to address these conditions as normally as we can and to support these individuals as best as we can. And I know there's that stigma as well with regards to vanity. And a lot of people tend to say that working on your physical appearance can be deemed as conceited or vain. But I completely disagree with that. I think it's really important that we push people and we just support people to make those choices as best as they want to. And there's a lot of times as well in which we have a lot of, I forgot my thought. Some of the individuals just are afraid to speak out regarding their conditions. And for me, it's getting to work with them and helping them build their confidence back. And that's what makes my work so purposeful. It makes me happy that I get to be a part of their story. It gets me going every single day to be a part of their confidence. And for me personally, I owe my confidence, a portion of it towards physical appearance in a way. And it takes time to work on your physical appearance and your physical health. And when I'm able to work on that, I feel like that's the reason I get to be walking through the same doors of opportunities I get to today. I get to be at the tables I get to today because of the support I've been able to have when it comes to working on my physical appearance. And I think that's a big part of your confidence. And I think it's really important that we help people and uplift them to be their most confident selves.
Yeah, growing up, I suffered a lot with acne. Like I just remember waking up and there'd be like a massive zit in like my cheek.
Yeah.
And then I'd be so ashamed to go to school and it just rattled me. All the interactions that I'd have with people, I just kept thinking, oh, like they're looking at it and I'm so hyper fixated in it. And it made me struggle in school and a lot of my social interactions. And then I see people that have it worse, and I can really tell when it does affect their self-esteem, and your physical appearance really matters, like to the extent where that is the determinants of your health. Like that is, and the what you feel is kind of like what shows outside. And while I don't promote kind of, yeah, that's you, like you are not your physical appearance, that's not what makes you, because I don't know, like there's so much more to a person, their kindness and their compassion, and there's so much more. But at the same time, it is also a great marker for someone's health. And for people to say, oh, like it's vain, and yes, you could vain, depends how you look at it, but it does a good job of seeing if someone's healthy or not, right? And I'm sure being a nurse at with a dermatologist, you get to see an array of skin conditions, and you can see that, oh, okay, it's a skin condition. It's not really affecting the inside part of you, right? It's not like diabetes or something where it's like there's actually something wrong because, oh, it's just skin, right? It's just get over it. But at the same time, you get to see that these people are really affected mentally because, yeah, they're scared to go outside. They don't feel as beautiful, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're able to really show up as your best self when you're able to present yourself how you want to be. Exactly. And that correlates with it. And I completely agree with that as well. It's deep inner work when it comes to your confidence, for sure. 100%. There's so much, everyone is so dynamic and there's so much different parts of us. But yeah, I agree. Physical appearance is a big, huge part of it and how you can show up every single day.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like with the physical appearance, right? Being a model and being around the like skin and all these things that make it like vain. Do you feel like sometimes like people forget that there's more of you inside? Because I don't know, like I hear this a lot with people that take up a role in the modeling industry is people may not see themselves as who they are inside. Maybe there's too much focus on the physical appearance. Do you ever feel like that?
Oh, 100%. Yes. I feel like in a way your modeling it's you're so vulnerable and you're definitely scrutinized for how you look and how you show up and what you wear, how you present yourself and just it's a big part of it. And so I do feel like that is a big part of it. And so I think it's more than important to take modeling and just going beyond that as much as you can and just being a dynamic person. And that's one of the reasons for me, I want to use modeling as a stepping stool towards advocating as much as I can and towards representing others, and especially those who feel like they're not usually seen on such platforms. I think that's really important just because when you're just a physical, like your physical appearance is technically what you're there for. I think it's really important that you kind of just go beyond that as much as you can.
Yeah, and you have different kind of an array of like talents, and you place your confidence in many things, right? Not just modeling, but also as a nurse, as a person that has a family with friends all around. there's so many things that make you you. So I think, yeah, what you said is just, yeah, it's sure it's something that you enjoy, but it's not only that, you're so much more than that. Yeah. So you've been a vocal advocate for breaking the stigma around mental health. So in your experience, what is the biggest misconception people still have about seeking help, and how do we handle it or dismantle it?
Yeah, I think regarding seeking help, there's still that big conception that getting help is a sign of failing or weakness. And I think it's really important for us now to address that stigma as best as we can. I also see a lot of traditional beliefs with regards to mental health as if it's selfish to be going through a mental health struggle, or that it's selfish to resort towards self-harm or anything like that. And I think it's just the wrong conversations. And if anything, it's what pushes people away from getting help that they truly need. It's what pushes people away from having open conversations about mental health. And for me, through going through my own mental health struggles, I've understood that sometimes these battles are often silent as well. Some people are battling through mental health struggles alone, and it's really important for us to always check on our loved ones as much as we can and never take these relationships for granted as much as you can, and to show up for others. And if anything, dismantling the stigma and the misconception requires ongoing advocacy and open conversations. I think it's now time more than ever to have conversations regarding talk therapy, different mental health resources and support that's out there, and to normalize these conversations as much as we can. And what's normalized out there is having the conversations regarding physical health. And so it's like you and me talking about me having the common cold or a flu, and we could probably go back and forth having a conversation about how I feel or how I'm doing if I'm sick. And same thing for you. It creates this open conversation regarding that specific condition. But to me, imagine if we did that exact same thing and had the open conversations regarding mental health. If we are able to have the conversations of how are you doing, or conversations of this is what helped me, and having that same conversation normalized as we do in society and with those around us, we'd be able to save so many lives that we've already lost and that we continue to lose at an alarming rate due to mental health struggles and conditions today. And I think it's very important for us to continue to advocate for others, to check up on our friends, and to just be kind as well as best as we can. It takes a small smile to someone to just truly make their day if they're going through something. And for me, as a leader and an advocate in the nonprofit space, I want to lead these conversations and initiate them more than ever, because these conversations can be uncomfortable because it isn't normalized. But it's through having these uncomfortable conversations that break the stigma and that address these misconceptions is where we can truly have change, and truly where we can move forward to normalizing mental health a bit more.
Mhm. And you're very passionate about it, and I like what you said about how, if I had the common cold and we talked about it and back and forth, what are the steps that we can take to ensure that I'm cured from that? And if we take the same kind of viewpoint with mental health, like with depression, anxiety, it's like, what's triggering that? What steps can we take to alleviate the pain and suffering so then you can live your best life? Uh, what's your experience been like with mental health? Because I know usually the people that are very passionate about certain topics, they've usually gone through it themselves.
Yeah, for me, I think I was around high school when I went through depression, like severe depression, and it was just a big cloud every single day. And it's so hard to describe, and it's different for everybody. But for me, it was just this. It was just I didn't want to be here anymore. That was a big part of it, and just waking up was dreadful. It was like I was living in black and white every single day, and to me, it was. At first I was afraid to speak up. I was like, "What is going
It's
on?"
kind
It
of
was
shameful. It's like,
oh,
why?
exactly.
Like, I'm in a first world country, and that my parents worked extremely hard. I'm surrounded by people that love me, got friends, opportunities. Why am I feeling this way?
Yes,
I don't know. It's
exactly.
like, why?
Yeah, it's a bit of
Mm-hmm.
guilt too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I love what you said there. It's that feeling of I have everything. Why am I? What else do I need? You know. And so there was definitely shame for a bit as well. But I think finally addressing my concerns and finally accepting that that was normal for me to have those feelings, I was able to seek help and gain those resources. And through gaining more insight on how our resources work and how the healthcare system unfortunately fails mental health in a lot of different ways, I feel like it pushed me even more to advocate as much as I can and to normalize these conversations. And for me, it's a big part of me. It's when I went through therapy, and I still continue to, because it's so important to who I am. It's really important to understand who I am and understand those different traumas and different struggles that you get to go through. And it also allows you to understand a lot of other people as well.
Yeah. What did it feel like to be in that state of, not wanting to be here? Like, what it inside? What?
Um, Honestly, for me, it was like a lack of feeling. If anything, it was like empty. Like there was just nothing there.
Would
Nothing. It was like anything that normally made me happy couldn't make me happy anymore. You could put
right.
my comfort food in front of me, and I wouldn't even want to eat. It was you could put you could bring me to where I want to go, like my dream travel places or something like that, and I still wouldn't want to go. It was you could bring me my most favorite friends, my dear loved ones, and I wouldn't be motivated to interact.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely what it
And when
was
you
like.
did interact with them,
Mhm,
uh, like, and you laughed, I'm sure you still
mhm.
showed expression, right?
Yes.
What did that feel like inside? Like you still felt empty? Did you feel less empty when you were around people?
Um, in a way, yes, because I think there was just more issues I needed to address deeper. But it definitely helped me out knowing I had community and knowing I had people that were willing to listen and that were willing to normalize what I was going through. That was very important. And I felt like a normal human being with feelings and a normal human being who was going through a mental health condition and a mental health disorder. And I think when you're around those people who uplift you, it's a great way to it's a great start towards healing yourself and getting better.
And did you just wake up feeling empty, or is it gradual? And then you look back and you don't even know where it came. Was there like a core event that happened?
I can't specifically at the time, even then, even now, I can't really pinpoint a specific event that may have happened, but it was just this. It was more so, yeah, like waking up one day and just being in black and white, and then it was like
Mm,
gradual. Every single day it was like I wouldn't say it was worse, at least specifically for me, but it was just every single day it was just black and white, and there was just like no motivation to get up, and there was no motivation to better myself. There wasn't even motivation to take care of myself.
yeah. I went through a phase last year. It happens here and there. Like I expect it to happen probably like a couple months each year where I just wake up with dread. It's like this. It doesn't matter how much sleep I got or if I'd work out the day before. It's just again. And I was like, I live my life in fear as to, oh, this is my life is getting worse. And that's just the negative self-talk I had for myself. It wasn't a nice voice inside, and I'd laugh with people. I'd still be me, but at the same time, like I was dying inside. Like I don't know, I didn't feel healthy. Like sure, maybe I got good sleep, maybe I had a great diet, but I think the mental milieu that I was swimming in was just a negativity of just negative. It was bad. Um, but yeah, I'm really thankful I go through that kind of stuff though, because without it, I don't think I'd have the level of empathy and a level of understanding towards people that are suffering. Because prior to experiencing all that, I was like, why don't you just get over it? Like
Yeah,
I'm sad. Like
exactly. Yeah.
just get over it.
Hmm.
Right?
Move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
move on. But
Yeah.
it's not that easy. It's very delicate, and you know, for a lot of people, it could just be the straw that breaks the camel's back, if you are mean to someone. Where do you draw the line though, where like you're a very resilient person and you're the person that takes initiative, and you even reached out to me and you make things happen and you take initiative, you're a go-getter. But what about for a person that is experiencing depression, right? But they're not a person that really takes action. They're a person that just kind of whines, complains, kind of like a victim mindset, right? And they don't really want to change. How do you go about that?
For that, I feel like you gotta surround yourself as well with people that you want to become. If anything, for me, I used to have that mindset honestly for a bit as well. It was this mindset of everything is happening to me, everything is happening, everything is against me. It was a lot of that as well. But I think it was through surrounding myself with people who had opinions that were different from that didn't those people that didn't have that victim mindset, because it broadened my perspective and realizing, you know what, I don't need to always be a victim. I don't always need to be negative. I don't always have to be that same way. I don't need to like it was just it broadened my perspective with regards to seeing people who are goal getters. And I think that's shaped me into who I am today. And it even starts if you don't have specific people in your life that are like that. It starts with just going on YouTube and looking for people that are doing what you want to do someday. And that's very important. Just like you, people probably watch you and look up to you because they want to get out there and put their local cities and the people in their local cities on the map. And so you are in a way for sure a fruit of what you allow into your mind, and it's what you allow into your environment as well. So I think it's really important to broaden your perspective and to always keep growing as best as you can.
So hearing all these stories from different people, you get to realize that you're not alone. And as an antidote to the victim mentality is just broadening your perspective or your mind with all the different perspectives that are right now happening, right there, that it's very real what's happening to you, but at the same time, it's not only you in the picture. There's other people going through just as hard of times, if not worse, yet they're more successful and they're living their best lives, right? I think there's so much hope if you just look for it.
Yes.
So you spend your days caring for others in the clinic and nonprofit space. How do you protect your own mental space and avoid compassion fatigue?
For me, it's just you really can't pour from an empty cup. And that's really, really important because you got to show up for yourself in the same way you show up for others. If anything, you got to prioritize that more so. It's having boundaries with yourself. And as much as you have boundaries with others, it's knowing when you need to take a break, when you need to pause, when you also need to just take a step back. And for me, it took going through burnout after a while of realizing, oh, I need to take a step back. I need to slow down. And it's realizing as well that you can't be sustainable if you're not sustaining your energy towards yourself, if you're not redirecting your energy at some point towards yourself at some point. And for me, that goes towards making sure I have a set routine. At the end of the night, I always make sure I'm reading something, I'm journaling my thoughts as best as I can, and I'm meditating. And through journaling my thoughts, I'm able to just clear my mind at the end of a very long day, especially working in a nonprofit space and working in the medical field. And it's really important to just really clear your mind. And what I'm trying to integrate lately is not going on my phone at the end of the night. It's hard. It's not perfect yet. We'll get there, but it's really important to turn off all the noise at the end of the night. It's also important to not go on your phone right away in the morning. I'm trying to learn that, and not to indulge right away. And for me, I found myself, especially during times when it can be busy with the nonprofit space, of looking at my emails right away when I wake up. That's like the first thing I used to look at, and I'd answer them. I'd categorize my emails, and right away my mind is already working. And so I got to learn to take care of myself first and foremost. And you got to learn that rest is not a reward, it's a requirement. You really, truly need to rest your mind, your body as much as you can. And if you're passionate with yourself, then you can just show up in that same way for others. If you show yourself compassion, you can have compassion for others. And it just goes hand in hand. And yeah, you really can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah. I love that you have all these safety nets that ensure that you are prioritized. Because at the end of the day, your happiness matters, and you need to also be healthy. Because if you keep pouring from that cup, eventually it's going to be drained, and next thing you know, you'll have less to give in the future, and it's bad for everyone. So put on the life vest first, so you can save other people. And like journaling, it's so powerful, and right? Meditation, and it's just, it puts your thoughts right in paper, so it's actually concrete. Because I feel like we all got kind of have those repetitive thoughts, right? Of like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, what did I just do today? Who matters? Why do I matter? Why did I do that? Random things. What happened yesterday? What's that childhood thing that I keep thinking about? Yeah. But like, as Anne Frank had said, paper is patient. It does not judge. And when you just transfer your energy to that piece of paper, it's so cathartic. So like, oh, this is me. Like, and then you flip through and you realize, oh, a lot of the problems that I have like keep occurring. Why? Why is this? Oh, I think it's because of the lack of sleep that I had, or it's because, oh, wait, I have a victim mentality. I see it right here. I need to stop thinking about that. Or I'm so obsessed over this X. Or I need to start working out more. I keep giving myself excuses. It all bubbles up, and you get to have concrete evidence on who you are and what you can fix. And yeah, I like not going on your phone in the morning or before night. And it's just, you need to prioritize that peace of mind. It's so important. Even just 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
10 minutes of just like just living, just like being you. Because I feel like we're constantly just like running around and this and do that. And like, just chill. Just chill.
Literally.
Yeah. So many see modeling as purely aesthetic, but you've mentioned finding a deep sense of purpose through connection in the scene. How do you use your creative lens to tell a story that goes beyond the image?
For me, I've learned to see modeling as storytelling more than anything. It's also a great tool to challenge the norm. It's a great tool to show a bit of vulnerability. It's a great tool to truly be able to be a representation for those who feel like they may not be represented. And that's really important. And so, in a way as well, you're wearing, as a model, you get to wear these pieces that are crafted for hours and hours by certain designers. And you're truly wearing someone's dreams. You're wearing someone's hard work. And so a lot of it goes beyond just an image. It's a big team as well that works beyond these spaces. It's never really just about the image. I think it's about how you use that image that truly matters. And for me, it's building connections with the people that are a part of these productions, these fashion shows, and the photo shoots that you get to have. There's big production teams around them. There's a lot of models. There's a lot of designers. There's a big media team of photographers and videographers, the makeup and hair artists backstage, the people helping out behind the scenes. It's a beast of a production. And in a way, these are just driven individuals who are so deeply rooted in what they're passionate about every single day. And for me, I get to be inspired by that. And I get to take away being able to witness these individuals on their individual crafts. And it's amazing. It's really nice to see how passionate they are. And I get to take that with me, and I get to take home and just be inspired, but what I could do more, how I can show up more, and how I can adapt creatively as well. It's really nice to just be around a bunch of creative people as well, because for me, it allows me to think outside of the box. It allows me to just keep being more passionate about creating more as much as I can. And if anything, create more things that are just way out beyond who I am and beyond the image.
Yeah. It's beautiful just seeing everybody with their different talents come together, with the videographer, with the photographer, person that's in charge with the design, the outfits, and then the lighting. And like you mentioned, the culture, getting to know all these people with their different ambitions and their talents and like the effort that they put in. It's community is so important. And yeah, it's, you mentioned with modeling that it depends on how you want to use the image. Like if you want it to use it in a vain way, or like, hey, look at me, I'm so good looking, I'm so attractive, like buy my merch, or come to this event, then of course you're gonna attract people with that kind of mindset, where, or maybe just followers, and they just compliment you for the physical. And yes, like modeling is physical, but if you go beyond that and you actually highlight the different talents around you, and you build a community, and you tell people, hey, you're beautiful in your own way, and you certainly attract what you put out in this world, right? Like good juju, good energy. I don't know if that makes sense,
Okay, it
but
makes
yeah,
sense. No, I believe
yeah,
in that. You
yeah,
attract what you put out there, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. Um, I know Instagram can often feel like a highlight reel. How do you balance the pressure to stay curated with your mission to be an authentic and advocate for your followers?
I think it's important to have regular check ins. And for me, I always ask myself, would I be doing this if there was no societal pressure? Would I be doing this if the world was free from judgment? And it's just a big way for me to reflect. It's a big way for me to have an inner glimpse of what truly resonates with me, first and foremost, and what truly is authentic to me more than anything. And that's really important. And in a way as well, obviously the aesthetics and the creativity of it is it's a big part of it. And I'm not gonna deny that the aesthetics part of it is it's nice as well. However, there is that you got to draw the line somewhere at some point as well. And it's nice that you're able to just show up for others. And if you're authentically just choosing to be you, it's very important. It allows people to also normalize just being themselves as well, and seeing that and being able to see themselves in you. And for me, authenticity matters most, if anything. And like we were talking about earlier, when you're truly who you are and when you're truly authentically who you are deep to your core, you only attract the right people, whether that's for your platform, whether that's your social media, or whether that's just your own inner circle. And if anything, it's very important to just make sure you like yourself first. And that took me a while as well. I had to let go of the fact that I don't need to be liked by everyone. I really don't. And I'm not here to be liked by every single person. I'm not here to be liked by who I show up for. It doesn't have to be like that. For me, I have to like myself first. I gotta like who I am first in order to show up. And I gotta like myself enough to grow. I got to like myself enough to be able to adapt as well. And I also have to be passionate about what I'm doing. It's hard, and at some point it shows when you're not passionate about what you're truly doing. It shows when you don't like what you're doing. It's hard to also have a facade. It's hard to keep up with having a character. For me, I would be so drained if I was to have a character every single day that I have to put on. And it's not who I am. It's not sustainable in a way. And you got to just show up as who you truly are authentically.
Yeah. Would you rather have the world love you, but you hate yourself? Or would you rather have the world hate you, but you love yourself? And I'd argue that majority people would want the latter. It's important to just love yourself. And granted, those are worst case scenarios, right? But it's much more important to look in the mirror and to just love what you see, and to go about the world and be authentic. And granted, you're not hurting other people and you're not causing mayhem on the streets.
Yeah.
Right? If you like that Lego set, buy that Lego set. You know, if you like to sing, sing. And if you want to show up to that dancing class, show up to that dance class. And if there are people that look at you funny, as long as you're not hurting anyone, then why does it matter what the fuck they think?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what they think. It matters what you think about yourself. And yes, you don't want to be calling them names. You don't want to start the fire. But at the same time, you need to do what's best for you. And yeah, I know Instagram can be vain. And like, if you look at my Instagram, like people may just think, oh, like first glance, like this guy is just happy all the time. And like, it doesn't seem like he has any problems, but I've got a ton of problems. I talk about this in the podcast, and you talk to me long enough. This is why I love long form. Can't really hide anything. Like, we can't script this. I don't know. Like, we can't with the tone of voice and like the stories that we have, the dialogue. You just can't script it. And eventually, the true essence of who you are comes out after like an hour conversation. Like, maybe if you're just highly performative, like maybe that's like you can get away with that. But eventually, you do it long enough, the true colors always show. Right? You ever met someone that's like at the start, they were this, like, whether it be romantically, right? It's, wow, this person's amazing. They've got everything together. They're so kind. They're ambitious. They're everything that I want in person. A month later, wow, it was all an act. Change. Like they would, big change. Or like even with friends, platonically, this go-getter, like person that wants to change the world, but they're not consistent. They say this one thing, but then they don't show up. They actually slack off. You see them drinking every night and they just game. They say they want to be this person, but they're not, right? And I don't know, it's like over a long enough time frame, your true colors show. And if you put up a facade, it's so mentally draining. And you're like slowly killing yourself. Yeah. That's why I just don't give a fuck anymore.
No, I literally always tell myself, it's like, what do I have to lose? I got one life. You got one life. Like I genuinely don't, I don't want to live for others. There's no way. You got to live for yourself first and foremost.
I just don't want to be my deathbed and go, what if I just started that podcast?
Oh yeah.
What if I didn't cancel on that person that day? But no, I gave into my feelings. I'd rather just sleep in bed. I'd rather just watch that show on Netflix that wasn't fulfilling. But I've done that many times. Like, if you ask me, have I done the very best that I could? It's my brother. It'd be a lie if I said I have done the very best that I could every day, because I don't. Like, sometimes I give in to my emotions. Sometimes I take the easy route. And do I feel like a better person after it? No. Never. But I always imagine, what if I just took every single opportunity? What would my life look like? I don't know. Yeah, so powerful. Now, has your experience in the medical field influenced the way you approach modeling or the types of creative projects you choose to take on?
Yeah, honestly, being a part of being in the medical field firsthand, I think I've learned and I've been able to witness how our bodies are so diverse and how our bodies are deserving of care, and how our bodies just come in different forms. And you got to make sure that you got to align yourself with work that truly matters to you. And for me, that goes with aligning myself with brands that embody that and embody diversity, embody inclusivity, and embody that bodies are real. And so that's really important for me. I think, if anything, as well, on a personal note, I've noticed how bodies are so precious. Life is so precious, but it's also fragile. You really never know when your time is. You never know when you just never know when it's done. And so you got to make sure that you live intentionally. You got to live with purpose as best as you can, and you got to look inward and ask yourself what truly your purpose is. And for me, that's really influenced how I show up in my creative projects, how I show up in things that I do, because for me, it has to align with my purpose. It has to align with who I am. Because yeah, once again, life is it's precious, but yet it is fragile. And you just really never know.
Yeah. Like we are so resilient. Like we can go through such tumultuous times uh, when it comes to job loss, breakups, and just disease coming up. And like there's so many stories of people going through just the worst of times yet coming out on top. But at the same time, there's also boom, car crash, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's you never know what's it's gonna happen for you. And death is a great reminder of okay, I'm not gonna be here for a long time. So why obsess on the little things? Why am I obsessed on that person that didn't want to be my friend? That person that wasn't interested back? That deal that didn't go as planned and there's so much more to life than that fixation. There's your family, there's your friends, there's the world, the sky. Look at the sky.
Literally.
Yeah, look at the opportunities that are surrounded by you, the people. You know, like a lot of people, like I tend to do this. I'm very guilty of this. Is like something bad happens, and I just fixate on that, and I forget just how immensely blessed that I am. Forget that I'm with my family and that they are supportive of me. That I have a podcast that I can run, that I can feel love and pain. And I'd say pain is a blessing.
Oh, pain is a
Yeah,
blessing.
it's taught me
Yes.
many things.
Oh yeah, I don't, and I tell my friends all the time. It's like my friends are like, "Oh, why do you say that?" And for me, it's like honestly, I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for
Yeah,
pain. It wasn't if it wasn't for the struggles you go through in life. Like you just wouldn't be the person you are today.
exactly.
And if anything, I've gotten so kind of addicted to it. It's like to me, I'm like, give me pain. I'm like, give me pain
Give me
because
that.
literally, I'm like, I
Hit
want it.
me.
I need challenge. Literally, I need challenge. I'm like,
Yeah.
something needs to challenge me. But it's just it pushes me to get uncomfortable. It pushes me to discover myself even more. And I guess like for a lot of people as well out there, it's the big thing of like relationship pain and going through that. And that stuff is so important for your growth. And you don't see it in the moment, you don't, but it's so important because it pushes you to be who you are outside of that. It pushes you to get uncomfortable of not being chosen, being rejected. But at the end of the day, rejection is redirection. So you got to just make sure you push and you got to just show up as best as you can every single day for yourself.
Yeah. I just learned this recently. There's post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Where like, people talk about it all the time, but it only really affects a minority of the population, a small percentage. Majority of people experience PTG, post-traumatic growth. But it's just when you go through a debilitating situation, moment where you think that the world's on your shoulders and that you can't possibly move forward, but then you do. You don't really, a lot of people aren't cognizant of that. They just go, I just went through a breakup, or like we were together for 5 years. It was the most painful thing after a year, but I got over it. And then they don't seek help from it, but they grew from it. They don't, like a lot of people just don't journal. A lot of people don't self-reflect, but like the soul is immensely powerful. It's so resilient. Like I remember just being in high school and I thought that, oh, this is the worst thing that has happened to me. How can I love anymore?
Yeah.
How can I live? How can I go on?
Yeah.
And then here I am, 6 years later, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like what? And then I know that even this year, there's points where I'm like, how am I gonna move on? I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But then I did. Then I woke up one day and it was just in the past. And I learned something. Yeah. Yeah. So every nonprofit starts with a gap that needs filling. So what was the specific moment or realization that sparked the birth of people helping people?
It was honestly like, I mean, for me growing up giving back has always been a big part of who I am and what I do. And one story I always go back to is when I was about probably 7 or 8 years old. I just freshly moved to Canada, and we were living in an apartment building, and I made posters and put up flyers in our laundry room. And I was asking for $5 donations, and I was trying to put all of that together to hopefully gain enough money to buy like a couple of toys for some kids or families who couldn't afford it. And it's weird now, like remembering it and my mom telling me about it, because I'm like, what was the audacity? Like, what was, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just this 8-year-old kid that's like, oh, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that.
And that's
And
like
so,
your natural kind of state. Like you weren't
yeah,
like putting up an image.
no, it was,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
You
No,
just
it
wanted
was,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird.
Like it was for fun for you.
Yeah,
You know?
Instagram didn't exist at
Yeah,
that
no, it
time.
wasn't like, oh,
Yeah,
imagine what my friends or family might
exactly.
think. It was
No.
just like, oh, this is just fun.
Yeah,
You know?
no.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it was like there was nothing I could like post. There was nothing. And
Mm.
I don't even think any of my friends know about that story either. It was just like, it was just this innate longing to give back. And I don't even know, once again, if at that time I understood the magnitude of what that was doing. I didn't know if it was just like, I wake up and I'm like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, what? Like, it was weird. I don't know
I
why.
love that for you.
And it's just a very interesting story that I just remember now and that my mom always reminds me of. And around last year was when we had the winter warmth drive, and I just put that up on my main Instagram, and that's
Mm.
when we collect winter clothing items, and we just collect them around the city. Just use the items that people want to get rid of, and we bring them to homeless shelters. And so that's inspired by my parents always bringing me to the mall. And we'd buy clearance like winter items, and we'd hand them out to a lot of the homeless people out there who are waiting to get into shelters, especially during the winter. It's very cold out there, even. And so for me, that's what inspired that initiative. And so I put that up on my Instagram, and it just gained an audience. It gained traction, and a lot of people reached out to me. And if anything, they were asking how they can be a part of that kind of initiative, how they can
Mm.
help out beyond just the donating and any of that. So that's when I realized, you know what, at some point, I do want to have a structure of taking on more initiatives, of having these initiatives and being consistent with it. And so that was kind of the birth of People Helping People. And from that, I've been able to build an amazing team of individuals who are deeply as passionate as I am about our mission, and that's to advocate for marginalized communities around the city and anywhere we go. And so it's just been a really great journey, and I love being a part of it. And it's a big part of who I am now, and it's like my baby, and I'm able to just talk about it, and it's a great outlet as well of just who I've always been, and it's nice now that it's just come to fruition.
Mm. You ever heard of that Birdie song? People help the people.
Oh, actually, don't know.
I think you'd
Okay.
like that song. And just
Okay.
like, it just reminded me so
Yeah.
much of like your story.
Thank you.
People help the people. Okay, sorry,
Okay.
I'm butchering it right now. But
No, that was really good. You got the Filipino singing genes for sure.
okay, it's so fascinating to hear about the like your story as a kid, and then now here you are, helping people and asking for the extra winter clothing and having it around so people can stay warm, and building a team, and it's still in its initial phase, but you're really passionate about it. Like when I was younger, my dad's like, he told me this one story that he keeps repeating. Like I had a toy robot,
Yeah.
and I would take the batteries like intermittently just so I can conserve the energy. And then like to connect this to my life, I'm like, I always think of like the long term. I always think about like trying to conserve kind of the resources that I have. Like when it comes to my energy, when it comes to even finances and my health, like I'm very meticulous. I'm very very goal oriented, and when it comes to my energy, I allocate it properly. The stuff like that, where now here you are, like things of the past, they have their little fragments of like who we are. And like, oh, that's who I was. Like as a kid, I normally Because like right now, when as adults, right, there's like that incentive of like, I need to perform, right? Like people gotta think I'm kind. People gotta there's like that
Mm,
level of there's like the component.
mhm.
But if you like really just go down to like a kid, like what does a kid do for like they have no preconceived idea of like, oh, how is the world gonna view me at this point? They're just gonna act when they're angry, they act when they're sad, they smile when they're happy, which I think we could all kind of take some notes on to like, okay, what truly makes you happy? And I think for a majority of people, like helping other people is like freeing. I don't know, like when I like ask people about their day or like even if I don't actually like give anything, I just like help them, but like helping them find their dreams or like navigating through a tough time, like I feel a lot more connected. But like for you, like you go above and beyond that and you actually try to serve the community. And so inclusive change, it's a powerful phrase.
Mhm.
Now, in the context of your nonprofit work, what does true inclusivity look like in practice? And where is it currently missing in our communities?
Honestly, true inclusivity requires ongoing advocacy as much as you can. And not the advocacy doesn't have to always be loud. It doesn't always have to be a big protest. It doesn't have to be a big post. It doesn't have to be any of that. It can be just the small, quiet, everyday choices that you make. And I think that's what makes true inclusivity is really embodying that and showing up in that way. Um, for me, I think when people are just able to speak up for others, it's really important. And it goes beyond representation as well. It goes beyond just representing something. It's truly listening to these individuals. And I think that's where we're kind of failing at times as well, is truly listening and understanding another person. And for me, it took really immensely being in these marginalized communities myself and speaking to these individuals and speaking to the different people in homeless populations and the different people from these marginalized communities and allowing them to speak and just giving them the space where they don't have to hide themselves, where they don't have to be quiet and where they're able to really speak up is really important. And so for me, I feel like when we're not where all these systems are failing is unfortunately not listening to what these people truly need. Not what these communities truly need is someone who truly goes out there and listens to their stories, if anything. And a lot of our systems are set up to just put a band-aid on a lot of these issues. And a lot of our systems are set up to just have surface level resolutions that don't really address the actual root of like the cause and the actual root concerns that these people have. And for me, that's learning about the lack of mental health support for our homeless people. It's the lack of financial literacy that's unfortunately put them in that spot. And if anything, we should be supporting them and giving them those tools necessary to be better and to get better. Just because, unfortunately, it's always just that band aid and it's never really understanding what they truly need. And I remember meeting a 70-year-old trans woman in the a fashion show that we put on in the summer, and I was just able to learn so much from her, and just how she fought for her own rights to exist as who she is now. And I think it's really important that we just learn from that as well, that there are people out there that have been fighting for these lives more than anything, and it's in a way really inspiring. And I feel like if we truly listen to one another, we can for sure close a lot of gaps of inequality and we can redirect these resources where they truly matter. And it's important for us to just understand one another a bit more. And I think that's where we're kind of just a bit behind is sometimes for me as a nonprofit leader and a nonprofit a person that's in the field out there, what's important is not how I speak. It's not about me always talking about advocacy. It's just me truly listening. so that I can understand what voices I need to amplify and how I can show up better for others, and truly how I can uplift these marginalized communities.
Yeah. I often hear about like statistics. It's like, oh, 5% of unemployment, 10% of this demographic are going through poverty. And like you hear that in the news, it's just like a number. It's like, what even is that? And you go in and you actually talk to these people. It's like that job loss led to the divorce because there was financial instability and they couldn't pay for anything. And next thing you know, drugs came into play, and you get to realize that there's 1,000 people that like were affected by like maybe the pandemic, and every single one of these stories or like numbers, it's a story. It's like a person going through such immense suffering, and if you talk to them, you get to realize just how much they have tried and that they're still trying, but then there are no resources around them. There are no opportunities, and or simply they don't know where their opportunities are at because they're struggling. And it's just taking the time to ask, like, what's your story? How can I help? And it doesn't have to be, oh, you got to volunteer every week. It's just, when you're at the grocery store, you see someone that looks like, oh, and they strike up a conversation, like ask those tough questions and check up on them, your fellow community member. And, and with people help the people, like, was it tough initially to get people behind your idea? Because I'm sure you got to make people believe in what you think as well, right? I'm sure there must have been a lot to starting this all.
Oh yes, 100%. I feel like it can be tough as well. I remember going back to a project we did. It was the Pride Soiree, and it was a fashion show that it was just a fashion show that uplifted the two-spirited LGBTQI plus communities out there, and it was really hard for people to get people to rally behind that. But I think what's amazing is I have a team and I have myself, and we're just very driven, and we don't take no for an answer. It's, if anything, if a door closes, we have another window that we can open. And so we just continuously push as much as we can, and we keep pushing our vision as much as we can. And at times, yeah, you got to show up a bit more than in certain days.
And it was just you at the start, right?
Yes, yeah, it was just me at the
Oh,
start.
and then how
Yeah.
many people are there now?
Now we have a team of 8.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're a team of 8. Yeah.
Like for people that like haven't started a business, I haven't started a business, but like I know like maybe the podcast and just through talking to business owners, 8 is a lot.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot.
That's a lot to manage.
It's a lot of minds, opinions, and one. Yeah.
And then like when you're in like on the boards, like, is this really a good use of our time? And then one butts heads with the others. They don't like vibe as much. And I'm like, well, it's for a great cause. It's a lot of work, even like creating a team and putting it all up. So kudos to you. Yeah. And I think this is only the beginning. I think I can see this being so massive.
Thank you.
So for those listening who feel a passion for advocacy but don't know where to start, what is one small actionable step someone can take today to foster inclusive change in their own circle?
Yeah, I think today what you can honestly do is to speak up as much as you can. I mean, once again, yeah, these conversations are not always easy. It can be hard. But I think when you truly address biased conversations as much as you can, it's not out of disrespect. It's out of just educating others as much as you can. And that starts with addressing your own biases. So kind of addressing where do I fall short? Where do I judge others? Where do I judge or a certain marginalized community? Where do I push a certain stigma out there? And just addressing that first and being true with yourself. and that's important. I myself I have biases as well that that I live with and that I understand and that is out there, and I have to make sure that I address that before anything. But when you're able to speak up in those conversations that are a bit biased, you're able to just educate others a bit more. And it doesn't have to always be this big grand gesture. It never really has to be. It's just those small, quiet conversations that you get to have with others to educate them, hopefully, and to spread a certain message. It's really important. And if you can, just be kind. That's really important. That's another everyday little thing that you can do. Is you truly never know what anyone is going through. And like you were saying, if someone's just at a grocery store, spark a conversation with them. And to me, lately, my favorite thing is like you see a lot of homeless people that are out there, and you get to just see them. And for me, I like to talk to them and just ask them, like, hey, like, what's your name? What's your story? Like, what are you going through? What put you in this spot? What do you need? And for me, I may not be able to give them the world at that point. I may not be able to give them, everything that they need, but just simply being able to listen to them, I'm educating myself and I can educate others, hopefully, and I can kind of spread that message more. And if one day I can go back and help them a bit more, then that's amazing. But it's also just making their day. That's really important. Is a lot of people are probably scrutinizing them just standing there trying to, get by, but no one is truly listening to them or addressing them or seeing them as a person. And that's really important. But at the end of the day, my main message is always just be kind to one another and love one another and spread that kindness wherever you can, because wherever you spread kindness, it truly multiplies.
Yeah. A lot of people will view unhoused individuals and go, "Oh, they're lazy, get a
Mhm.
job," But I've read Gabor Mate's books on addiction, and he's this physician in downtown Vancouver, which arguably has one of the worst kind of uh, unhoused dilemma ever in Canada. And he writes about some of these people, and a lot of them have gone through such chaotic childhoods that we don't even understand. A lot of violence, a lot of fighting in their families, a lot of abuse. And 30, 40 years later, they're still suffering the ramifications. And it's like, yeah, just you never truly know what's going on in their heads. And even people at the grocery store. A lot of people might just show up there, but like if you just talk to your fellow human being, like what's going on? Like, how's your day? It doesn't even have to be deep. And it could just be a connection. Like, how can you connect? And yes, there are going to be many times where the connection goes awry, or like it's an awkward situation, or maybe you just feel disrespected, but
Mhm.
that comes with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure from
Oh, yeah.
putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
there's going to be people that just don't like you. In fact, they'll go above that
Mhm.
and like disrespect you.
Yeah,
which,
exactly. Yeah.
which I'm like, I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah. And just to help out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you deal with the kind of the friction with that, with trying to get to know people, but they're like standoffish?
Mhm.
Like, how do you navigate that?
Um, for me, I think it's just honestly, in a way, lack of a better term, I guess, is you got to read the room as well. Sometimes, like some people might not just be willing to do that or willing to get out
Mhm.
there. And for me, it's never I never take it to heart. I think that's the best thing is you don't take it to heart and you don't lose sight of where you want to be. You don't lose sight of what drives you every single day to continue doing that. So I think it's just really important for you to kind of redirect that energy to others that would want to be a part of that conversation or want to be a part of what you're doing. And it's never once again, like it's never against those people that don't want to. It's just maybe they're going through something. I don't know. But you gotta make sure that you just don't take it to heart. And then I think that goes with the mindset of just you don't need to be liked by everybody. You really don't.
Yeah. And hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people.
Uh, like never have I been in a good state of mind and put other people down.
Yeah.
Like usually if you're in a bad state, like you want to pull people down with you, the crabs in a bucket.
Yes.
But the people that want to uplift you, that want you to be better, they're the people helping you come off the cliff. You know, hey, you know, got this, or helping you up.
Exactly.
From what I've noticed, maybe not, people don't operate that way a lot, like in all cases, but for the majority of the part, you will never have somebody doing better than you trying to pull you down. Usually the person that's doing better than you uplifts you, makes you who you are, makes you find out who you are, and makes you a better version of yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. When you're healed, you heal others, right? So
yeah.
I agree with that.
Healed people heal others.
People.
Healed people. Healed people heal people.
Yeah, I guess so. There you go. That's a new one for you guys. Yeah.
Sweet. But yeah, I'm immensely thankful for you today on the show. This has been very, very cool to hear about your story, and I am really impressed by the work that you've done, and I know that you'll continue to change and save lives out there, and that you keep being you, Lana.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And for people out there who are suffering, who maybe they don't know where to turn, like what do you have to tell to them? You have to say?
Honestly, there's a lot of resources out there and a lot of support. And for me, I like to list this on my platforms. But if you can, just a simple search of honestly help me. Like I need help. And if anything, just reach out to someone. Truly, truly hold on. There is hope out there. And if anything, like what we talked about today, it's that we all go through struggles and we're able to kind of get out from it. And it's never easy. It never is. But there's people out there that have gone through something similar as you. And obviously we don't understand exactly what others have gone through, but there are people out there who have beautiful stories that come out from their struggles. And so I think it's really important that you just hold on as best as you can and you search out and seek out support from, if not your inner circle, look at helplines out there and just get that support to keep yourself here no matter what.
Yeah. There's somebody going through the same thing presently, or if not present, in the future, or it has happened in the past. And you can be the person to help the future, and you can learn from people in the past, and you can be that someone right now to help other people, make them feel connected. But yeah, thank you so much again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
And as always, to everyone listening, there is a place for you in this chaotic world. Never lose hope, strengthen your faith, and keep it long term. Lana Antonio, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace. That's it.
Yeah, that was so much fun.